these salutations are grandiose, exaggerated, and for the most part misrepresentative of the status of the speaker, but I'll take it with a grain of salt.
But well deserved.
We all do what we can do, you know? Is it all right if I dare say show my
But not much more, please.
colors is a double entendre, so my word, the word colors means gangs. So I was making a joke, I'm in the hippie guy. These events, I believe, I'm not very familiar with them, require reading from samples of the book, which I do intend to do. And I've selected about 10, what I want to call them vignettes, and they've been called chronicles, they've been called essays, and they were just little symbolic events and episodes that I encountered at the camp. Camp is not really a prison, it's sui generis, so the book is significant in the fact there's been many books written by inmates in jails and in prisons. I don't think anything really written from prison camp, which is, different than jail or prison. So, for me, it was exciting and fun. And what I want to do, though, before reading is also do what is normal, and it is showing my respect and my appreciation. So, first, I want to thank City Lights. And aren't we fucking lucky to have City Lights? We're at perhaps a part of evolution that's getting so technical that there won't be books much longer. They'll all come off computers. So smell it, man. Smell the books. They smell good.
Yes.
Look at the color of them. Fondle them. This is, books, literature, writing, poetry, something, a magnificent gift from the gods. And is technology going to take it from us? And we've got to look into computers like televisions for the rest of all time? I hope not, but City Lights is something beautiful. It's always illuminated us. It is really a center of what I'll call anti-establishment culture. It's certainly left of center. They've certainly persisted. So, to Lawrence Ferlinghetti, the founder, so to speak, but to everyone who's worked that I have encountered or heard of, including the present, they're beautiful, dedicated people. What aren't we, prized to have them still?
Yes.
Second acknowledgement is to Grizzly Peak Publishing Company of Berkeley. Why don't you two guys stand up for a minute? Please. For, I don't know, but let's pretend for 4 decades, Grizzly Peak or the persona behind it or personas behind it, from my perspective, have sought out, they have probed, they've investigated what I'll call sparks in literature and poetry. And with a steadfast devotion that is akin to religion. Some of those sparks have become fire, and some of those fires have illuminated all of us. So they're definitely contributing to a path that I would call a path toward enlightenment, and probably not enough recognition, not enough praise, not enough respect flows in their direction. So, but for them, I wouldn't be here. They had the courage to look into this and publish it. So I'm deeply appreciative of you, and all my life I'll remember. The third level is you all. I, feel in all your individualistic ways, the way you look and the way you think, you're beautiful. And aren't I lucky to be amongst you? Even though I know there's friend here, there's foe here, there's critic here, there, are supportive minds, there's curious minds. But we all come together, from my perspective, paying tribute to the same concept that unites us ultimately forever. The concept is called the Logos. We are worshipers of the Logos, the Word. We strive to ascertain truth and beauty through words. That's one thousands and thousands has given to humanity. It's a particularly beautiful one from my perspective. So I salute you all. I'm proud to be amongst you, and each one of you I infer calls master the word, creator. We join in that form of, how would I call it, dedication, worship, pursuit of truth, holiness. It binds us. The last, tribute goes to, from my perspective, the real poets and the real writers. I'm a fucking martyr, man. Had I not been a tax protester and gone down to Rumpock and been hyper, active in my lifestyle and devoted therefore some time to musing and thinking and conjecturing, I wouldn't be here. I'm here because I'm a lawyer, not a fucking writer. And all my life I have respected and I've put on the highest, realm of the dimension of human conduct, the poets and the writers. And so the last tribute is to them. And I know that they sit amongst you. Not all, but many. And, the caveat is to pursue it. It's a path, that's brilliant with light, frequently dim with pain. Most of the time, not even recognized. It's a lonely path sometimes. So, to the writers, to the poets, wherever they are, stay, the course. Guide us. You're the light for me at the horizon, but it's a very strong light, and it casts for us some knowledge that we wouldn't have. All right, you all. Now I think that I'm going to explain what walking the circle is, and then I won't bore you anymore with what we'll call it, side issues. Walking the circle is both a physical actuality, i.e. the notion of walking in a circle in prison as exercise, and also obviously a metaphor. So think of prisons. Think of steel boxes. Think of iron bars. Listen in your inner mind to the cell door, and they still exist, thick and iron, and when they're shut, they shudder, and the sound creates a great tremor that invades ultimately your psyche and your mind, and you can never forget it. Most of you, you haven't been in jail or prison, you haven't heard the sound of that. You're behind bars, you're in rectangles. You are committed, ultimately, as a hostage to iron rectangles, cells. Now, when an animal's in a cell, most frequently they pace. Oh, they go back and forth, they go back and forth. Part of the rectangle, part of the linear dimension extension of their imprisonment. See, walking the circle comes after that door slam. And for a few precious minutes, sometimes it's 1 hour, sometimes it's an hour out of 24, and then you're locked down 23. But you get to walk the circle, and it has, historical precedent. And I don't even know why. I guess a lot of prisoners die without exercise or get depressed and commit suicide. I don't know. I can't infer it was from charitable mind that they have allowed prisoners, from beginning of time, I assume, in the European, history, to walk the circle. They go out and they get to walk in a circle. They walk in a circle. And that was true at Lompoc camp. Your mind becomes, for a few moments, emancipated.
Yes.
There's no guard. There's no fear that someone is overhearing your conversation. You bond with your fellow inmate. Oh, you speak of the profane, you speak of the sacred. Secrets are shared. You might see in some places where it's barren and desolate, walking, in the dirt, you see a blade of grass, you see a blue sky if you're there to see. Some are real, tight. Those are introspective. You walk the circle, you can introspect. But it's a freedom. It's for a moment a liberty. It revives in you the spiritual, the aesthetic, the social. You're, for a moment unbridled. You're for a moment not paranoid. You see things that are symbolic. It goes deep into you. Walking the circle for prisoners, a holy trek. So, funny, that was a gift of the publishers, that title. Because I do have a poem I think I might start with, a vignette that I might start with. It's called Walking the Circle, but they created the title. I don't know, I think I just call it vignettes. So that's what it's about, and obviously I participated in Walking the Circle on a daily, routine, and saw, and I don't think I may visit some of the images, and talked, and bonded, and smelled, and, exhilarated, and was pensive, damnation, cynical, pessimistic on the left side, on the right side, enthusiastic, common bondage with inmates, seeing and feeling the humanity still existent in them. So it's, for me, a fabulous experience. But you see, I'm aberrated. Nobody, here's the inner conflict. The mutual exclusion of two major themes of my life. I fucking work hard to keep people out of prisons. That's my life calling. I'm up at fucking 4:45, in the morning. I can work until at least 7 or 8 at night. I work 6 days a week. I'm in a fucking special circumstance case right now. That means when it was charged, could have been charged with death penalty. Here it's an LWOP, life without possibility of parole. There's stress, and there's whatever you want to call it. There's anxiety, there's pain that's manifest in the courtroom. This is a man, who probably will get convicted. So I come from that zone, and then I go to prison, and I like it.